Building a multi-story structure is a complex process, demanding careful planning, skilled labor, and ample resources. In Ghana, where concrete is a popular choice for construction, the decking process plays a crucial role in erecting steady story buildings. Today, we will delve into the decking process of one such building we've been working on in Asebu since December 2023. Before we can begin the decking, we must gather essential materials: wood for support, steel for reinforcement, electrical and plumbing pipes, cement, chippings, sand, DPM, and water. The first step was constructing the formwork, which provides the framework for the concrete. In our project, we opted for wood, including 2x4s, wall boards, plywoods, and bamboo for support. Let's break down the quantities of materials we use for the formwork. We use 40 pieces of 2x4 wood, 30 pieces of wall boards, 60 pieces of 3/4 plywood, and 250 pieces of bamboo. Each of these materials plays a vital role in supporting the structure during the decking process. The materials used for the formwork represent a significant portion of the entire decking phase. This is because you typically have two options, that is, buying or renting, depending on the project's location as well as scale. In our case, we didn't have the option to rent, so we had to purchase the materials outright. While buying offers the advantage of ownership, it also entails higher upfront costs. The decision to buy or rent depends on the scale of the project as well as location. For multi-story buildings with multiple floors, buying is often more cost-effective in the long run, as the materials can be reused for subsequent levels. On the other hand, for smaller projects like single-story buildings, renting may be the preferred option. Since there is less likelihood of needing the materials again, renting minimizes upfront expenses and eliminates the need for storage. Ultimately, whether buying or renting, careful considerations of the project scale and future requirements is essential to make the most economical choice. Remember, each approach has its advantages and disadvantages, but with thoughtful planning, you can ensure the success of your construction project. Next comes the steel works, where various steel sizes are employed for different purposes. For this particular project, we utilize 16 mm steel for all the beams, including both protruding ones as well as secret ones. Additionally, we use 12 mm steel for the mesh or mat, providing reinforcement throughout the structure. In front of the building where we have the cantilevers, we used 80 mm steel for the beams for that. To securely fasten the steel components together, we utilize binding wires, which plays a crucial role in ensuring the stability of the structure. In terms of quantities, that is with regard to the steel, we used 3 tons of 12 mm steel, and per the 12 mm steel, 1 ton is about 125 pieces. So the total 3 tons gave us 375 pieces. That is for the 12 mm. And then we also use 1.5 tons of 16 mm steel. And for 16 mm, 1 ton is about 70 pieces. So the 1.5 gave us 105 pieces. And then we used 8 pieces of the 80 mm steel. With the formwork and steel work in place, our skilled plumbers and electricians installed the necessary piping for the electrical and plumbing systems, ensuring seamless integration. After completion of the electrical and plumbing piping, the carpenters returned to board the sides of the floor and installed the stairs. With these final preparations in place, the stage was set for the concrete casting. To ensure we had ample materials for the casting, we arranged for an additional trip of chippings as well as an additional trip of sand to supplement what we already had on site. And also we purchased 120 bags of grade 42.5 ounce cement, which is usually ideal for concrete works. And then we also had the concrete mixer arrive a day earlier, so it would be mounted, prepared before the day of the casting, so as to prevent delays. On the day of casting, we had about 6 wheelbarrows. 2 were dedicated to fetching sand, 2 for chippers, and 2 on top of the floor for delivery of the concrete. With a team of about 14 workers, each playing a crucial role, the casting process began. Some operated the concrete mixer. You also had some, opening the cement bag, some handling water, some fetching stones or chipping, some fetching sand, and then some at the top, doing the delivery of the concrete. And then we also had masons who were directing the placement of the concrete and ensure that the concrete was properly, vibrated so as to have it enter every part of the formworks that had been done. Despite our careful planning, we encountered a little challenge, which was with regard to the number of bags of cement that we needed in total. So we had a little shortage, so we had to order about 35 more bags of cement to be added to what was already there, so as to help complete this phase. Now, the entire casting process or casting period took 2 days. The first day, we were able to cast all the beams and almost or more than half of the entire floor, and then the next day, we were able to complete the entire casting process. So, this brings an end to this particular phase of this project, the decking phase, where a lot of things are involved to get it done. So in case you are considering having your building decked, I'm sure this video is going to help in terms of some of the things you have to take into consideration, especially for the plumbing and electrical piping, because if you don't have them positioned properly, it becomes a bit difficult to have them corrected, since they are going to be in the floor, depending on what layout you are using for the plumbing system, especially for the WCs. So there's a P-trap aspect, there's the S-trap, also there's a concealed system. So it will all depend on that. But at the end of the day, you have to ensure that everything is in its rightful place before the casting is done, so as to avoid any form of mistake. So proper planning is required or essential during this phase of the project, so as to get everything right. And also, now we've had the floor cast, we are actually going to wait for about 2 weeks or a little bit over before we start blocking the top floor. But we are going to be keeping the support in place, so the bamboos are still going to be there. Ideally, we'll have to wait for about 21 days, or let's say about 3 weeks or more, to have it cured to a certain point. But we are going to be leaving it for maybe about a month or more to ensure that it reaches its maximum curing point. So then we take off all the support. So that will just be about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. In case you are new, kindly go ahead and hit on the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit on the bell so that anytime there's a new video, you get to see it. So I'll see you in the next one.